Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We begin with Ace update as Real Betis move have been ruled out as the player is pushing to stay now at Barca. We are going to discuss on that as we move ahead. Secondly, in this episode, we are going to be talking about Ferran Torres, as the Barca coaching staff are really delighted with the 23-year-old forward. We are also going to discuss more on that development. So, guys, as we get right into it in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe if you haven't. If you're just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are very much welcome. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider giving this video a thumbs up and please watch it right up to the very end. As we approach the final week of this summer transfer window, Abde Elzazuli is one of the few Barcelona players facing an uncertain future at Camp Nou. The young attacker is unsure about his continuity at the club, which has put multiple clubs in Europe on red alert, including Real Betis. According to Tony Juan Marti, a move to Real Betis has been practically ruled out for Ace Abde, who was about 10 days to sort out his future, although the Spanish journalist did not mention any particular reason. It appears that Abde himself wants to join a bigger club as he takes the next step in his career. The Moroccan international would have ideally wanted to make an impact at FC Barcelona, but he has been unable to make much of an impact so far this season. A move away from the Camp Nou, therefore, is the likely alternative, as Barcelona also look to bring in some fresh revenue that may help them register new players from the market. Although Real Betis might not be an option anymore, Abde Ezazoli still has other suitors in Europe this summer. In recent days, Bayer Leverkusen have emerged as a potential destination for the young attacker. As per Tony Juan Marti, it seems as though Ace Abde himself likes the option of Leverkusen. The German club have developed serious reputation for nurturing young players over the past decade or so. Perhaps more importantly, Leverkusen can offer European football and even have the strength to compete for the Europa League title, although they might not be the clear favorites. Bayer Leverkusen for Japan are also preparing to offer about 20 million euros for the services of Abde, which could be optimal for Barcelona. Of course, all these days we have been hearing about Ace Abde and his uncertain future. Barcelona are open to the idea of selling the player, but Xavi Hernandez and the coaching staff are happy and they don't want Abde to leave, according to latest reports. And there have been a lot of offers coming out from clubs, both home and abroad, as to Ace Abde's pursuit. But the player is still not into the idea of leaving the club. But I think there are some few clubs like Bayer Leverkusen who have made some very good offers. And Ace Abde is reportedly seeing them as temptation. Like he thinks that he might go there, he will grow more as a player. As compared to Barca, where Xavi mostly releases him from the bench, hardly do you see Ace Abde starting matches. So as it stands right now, nothing is being guaranteed as to whether Abde will stay or not. Because there have been a lot of rumors saying that Barca want to cash in at least with one of their wingers in order to ensure that Joao Felix coming to Barca will be made easier, because they have been talking a lot about Abde and also Ansu Fati. So it shouldn't come as a big surprise if before the summer comes to an end, one of these players are not part of the club, because Barca are aiming to sell at least one. They know that for Ansu Fati, it will be so difficult, but they are still putting him up in the market. But the player is continuously backing down, saying that he doesn't want to depart. He doesn't want to leave. At no point he doesn't want to go. He wants to prove Xavi wrong. And of course, Abde now is also on the list on potential exits. But the only difference with this Abde situation is Xavi Hernandez is not really of the idea that Abde should depart. He's not of the idea that Abde should depart. Xavi sees him as an important player in his plans as opposed to Ansu Fati. So nonetheless, Abde himself does not rule out leaving Barca. He wants to stay, but if a good offer, a good salary, everything comes his way, Abde will consider such. As I've said, Bayer Leverkusen made a 20 million offer, but the player is yet to say anything about that. So let's see, because as I've said earlier, Barca want to go for Joao Felix at least before the window comes to a close, and that will be right at the tail end of this transfer window. That time they must have already signed Joao Cancelo. Then they will just have room for one more player. And to make it easier to register these two players at the end of the season or at the end of the summer, selling one of those attackers will be very important. That is why Barca are trying to see how possible that can be, with Abde and Ansu Fati's future still uncertain as things stand. Then on to the final story of discussion. There was a time during the ongoing transfer window when Barca were contemplating the exit of Ferran Torres, mainly due to financial crisis, but with Dembele moving to Paris Saint-Germain, Barca has now decided to cool off the decision, you know, um, why one part is largely related to Dembele's departure. It cannot be argued that even the player has worked so hard to gain the trust of Xavi. In fact, journalist Alex Pintanel has reported that Xavi and the rest of the Barca coaching staff are so delighted with how Torres has started his season. So, people close to the Spaniard have suggested that he is better than ever, both physically and mentally, and remains now fully committed to the club despite the incessant rumors. The reporter claims that Torres is extremely calm and convinced that he will have a significant role under Xavi this season, especially after his glowing show during preseason friendlies. As iterated earlier, the coaching staff is very pleased with what they have seen from the former City star so far this season. On numerous occasions when the team took a break, he diligently made his way to the Ciudad Deportiva, engaging in rigorous gym sessions and dedicated field work. On several instances, he even double worked shifts in the single day, showcasing his unwavering commitment. Within the locker room, he garners high praise from his teammates, regarding him as one of the paragons of professionalism. So we continue to see how this develops for Ferran. I'm so happy that he's trying to improve. So, guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.